So in this video, I thought it would be a great idea to give you a tour around Rockwall, just like the tour I give my clients when they come in from out of town. And for this tour, we're going to look at pretty much most of Rockwall. We will hop into a little bit of Heath. We'll see a little bit of McLendon-Chisholm, but this is going to give you a sense of kind of the north side versus the south side of Rockwall. And we're going to take a big loop, maybe a little bit of zigzagging here and there, but I want you to see what it looks like living here. I want you to see what the streets look like. We'll drive through some of the neighborhoods. But again, this is the tour that if you were coming into town, I would give you this tour before we would start looking at homes, so you could kind of get a feel for the lay of the land and see where everything is. And then you decide, okay, now that I see, this is where downtown is, or this is where the harbor is, maybe I want to live over here versus over here. But you can kind of get a feel for the area. So I am ready to go. I have stopped by Book Club Cafe and I have gotten my delicious coffee to get started on this because we're going to be driving. We'll be in the car for a little bit. I'll do a lot of talking, hopefully not too much. Hopefully I won't bore you, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about the different parts of Rockwall as we're driving through them, kind of my take on just what I know from living here. So coffee is ready, and all right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So as we start this tour, we are actually in downtown Rockwall right now. And this is a really fun part of Rockwall. So first of all, because it just is so quintessential small town downtown. You've got great shops like this in front of me is Bin 303. Not a shop, actually. It is a delicious restaurant that I highly recommend. And down here, it's actually one of the nicer ones on the north side of Rockwall. I say down here, but it's the north side of Rockwall. Downtown Rockwall has a lot going for it. In the spring or summer, they do farmers markets here. And you can see it is so crowded and bustling. So it is a Tuesday, just a random Tuesday at 10:52, so not even quite lunchtime. And you can see how busy it is here. So cars everywhere, kind of hard to get a parking spot, but there's some really cool stuff like Book Club Cafe. No association, I just really like it and think it's cool. Lots of restaurants. Ramen Head is right here. Delicious if you like ramen. Highly recommended. And down here they have the straight ahead is the San Jacinto Square, where they will have concerts and music all the time. On, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, they have concerts and stuff. So it's really nice to come and enjoy that, and the kids can run around. So really cool place to be. And then also to my left is my favorite restaurant that I recommend whenever clients come in from out of town and they want restaurant recommendations. It's the one I tell them to go to first, and it's Zanata's. So for the first part of our tour, we are on what we would call the north side of Rockwall right now, because this is north of Interstate 30. So Rockwall, the city, is kind of split in half by Interstate 30. And on the south side, you have the zip code 75032. And on the north side, you have the zip code 75087 for the most part. And so if you live on the north side of Rockwall, then your kids will go to Rockwall High School. If you live on the south side of Rockwall, your kids will go to Rockwall Heath High School. And we'll take a look at both of those while we're doing this tour today, just so you can get a sense of what those look like. Right now we're driving on a street called Goliad. It's also 205, which is one thing I'll talk about it probably a couple times, is the fact there are so many streets with numbers here in Rockwall, and it confuses me all the time. So if you're one of those that gets confused by all the numbers, you're not alone. So we're gonna veer off real quick because 205 is one of the main arteries in Rockwall to get anywhere you need to go. But we're turning it off a little bit and we're gonna head to the harbor, which is on the south side. So we'll cross under Interstate 30 to get there. But don't worry, we're coming back to the north side. We'll swing around and we'll end back where we started just so you can get a full loop. This way we're headed towards the harbor. You can see how close the harbor is to downtown Rockwall. That's the thing, is Rockwall itself is pretty small. It doesn't take too long to get from one side to the other, whether you're talking Rockwall City or Rockwall County. And Rockwall County is the smallest county in the state of Texas. So I think things like that just help give it that quaint feel that we have here. And then it doesn't hurt that we've got this great lake, Lake Ray Hubbard, and it's a boating lake. People sail on it. So it's a really cool location because you can be just a little outside of Dallas and the chaos of the city, but not too far that it's impossible to get to the airport or anything like that. So if getting to the airport is important to you, it is about a 45-minute drive to Dallas, to the international airport. Why can't I think of the name of the airport right now? DFW, oh my gosh, DFW airport. And then maybe about 35-minute drive to Dallas Love Field if you're doing more local flights, like Southwest Airlines flights. And as you can see, we're now starting to get to some of the commercial areas of Rockwall where we've got some more restaurants and a little more shopping. And most of what you would do around here is going to restaurants. We've got Chiloso right around here, which is really nice. We have a dumpling place that is opening up anytime now right up here, which I'm excited about. But before I get too distracted with food, I do want to say to the right of me right now is a neighborhood called Turtle Cove. It's a gated community. Rockwall does have a couple of gated communities. They've got smaller pad sites, like build sites, so they're a little more condensed, but a really nice neighborhood with beautiful trees. And so something that if you don't want something where you're gonna have a yard with a lot of upkeep and don't need a huge house, but maybe something around 2,000 to 2,500 square feet, you would have some really good options there. And they do have a little neighborhood pool. And the nice thing about being there is you are so close to Interstate 30. Like the light I'm sitting at right now is the Interstate 30 light. So you would be on 30 in a heartbeat. Maybe not a heartbeat, a few heartbeats, but you know what I mean. Now what you're starting to see here with this construction is the widening of Interstate 30. And this is a massive project that has been going on for years and will continue to go on for a few more years. But they have done a ton to widen the lanes of Interstate 30 because the biggest gripe that I hear people have about Rockwall is the traffic getting here and leaving here. So coming in at rush hour is very difficult. It gets backed up, and if there's an accident on the bridge, there have been so many times that they shut the whole bridge down. And if you have missed it from one of the cutoffs, you could be stuck on the bridge for 2 or 3 hours, which is awful. And so they're getting a lot better about that, but with the widening of 30, they're creating some ways to alleviate the pressure if they do have to shut something down. So we're getting a ton more lanes, and it's gonna be a lot bigger. And then with all of that, all this other stuff gets expanded and whatnot. So it can be a little hairy here around a rush hour, but even on the weekends, like That's when everybody goes out, does their shopping. So all of the roads in Rockwall, that is probably the biggest complaint, is that people just do not like the traffic in Rockwall, because we have been growing a lot, and all the suburbs, like Rockwall's a suburb, but the suburbs of the burb, those have been growing a lot too. And a lot of people come into Rockwall to do their shopping and stuff. So on the weekends, there can be a lot of cars that are out and about. And so just a lot of congestion on the roads. And now we are headed to the harbor. And this is another really popular go-to spot for people that want to go out and do something in Rockwall. And just like downtown Rockwall, where you can get out, walk around, go to a shop, go have lunch or go have dinner, the harbor has more of that too. More eating places, less shops, but there is a movie theater here, and you can get out and walk around. They have some cool water features. You can also walk a small portion of the perimeter of the lake and just take a look at that. But fun restaurants here, and there's everything from super nice restaurants like Sear, it's a steakhouse, I guess that's implied by the name, and Giovanni's, but then you also have got like Rodeo Goat if you want to grab a burger, and all sorts of other restaurants in between, Campisi's Pizza. So cool place to be. Parking can get a little rough sometimes, so a lot of times you have to park in the overflow if you come at peak hours. But it is nice having a really cool movie theater here with the reclining seats and stuff. So you've got that just right here. And also there's this neighborhood over here to my left that if you wanted to live, it's live and play right in the same place. You could live here, walk down to the harbor, sidewalks everywhere, so you could easily do that. And then also, again, you are so close to Interstate 30, you would be on the freeway so quickly. Another stoplight, which I feel like that is like coffee time, right? Isn't that how it's supposed to go? Now, as we start with this leg of the tour, we're actually going to leave Rockwall and go into Heath. And I want to show you a little bit what Heath feels like. And also, this is the way we would get to the high school on this side of town. Now, there are a few reasons people like Heath. One of the reasons is that Heath has a little bit more elbow room to it. So the lots here tend to be wider and deeper, so you just have bigger home sites. So you're not just sitting on top of your neighbor. Although, as I'm saying that, we are actually driving by a neighborhood right now to my right called Chandler's Landing. And that's actually an exception to that rule. And it's actually still Rockwall, so we're not in Heath quite yet. So I guess I'm still right about that. But Chandler's Landing is one of a gated community in Rockwall, and it's a cool neighborhood. Like these homes, you have everything from condos all the way, or townhomes, all the way to, there's a house here that looks like a castle. So it is not a cookie cutter neighborhood, and there's so much character in here. Also, it's got a little hilly, which is hard to come by. So if you're like a walker or a runner and you want a challenge, you can certainly do that and have that here in Chandler's Landing. Another neat thing is they have a neighborhood pool, they have tennis courts, they have a marina, so very activity oriented. And they also have a restaurant that is not just for the community, but it is open to the public. And it's a neat place. They've got a bar that's separate from the dining room. You can have events there. So it's just a cool place to go, and it's a little more laid back and chill. But now we are technically in Heath. And so back to the comment about the lots being larger, and the homes are typically larger here too. So if having a home that is on a larger lot that is a little bigger in size, I'm gonna say 2750 square feet, and then above, and the sky is the limit as to how big you wanna go after that. But yeah, a lot of larger homes here, older homes too. So Heath has been around for a while, and you have some really established neighborhoods, which is cool because the trees in these neighborhoods, like we're passing Shepherd's Glen right now, the trees, or I'm sorry, Shepherd's Highlands, the trees are phenomenal. And it is so, I'm a tree lover. And so to see them everywhere and to have the houses tucked into them is so much fun. And Heath has been doing a really good job lately of upping their game when it comes to commercial and retail, and more retail real estate, not so much commercial. But they've done a lot to do some development. So there's services here. You don't have to drive into Rockwall for everything. So like right here, this little hub that we're driving by, there's retail and there's restaurants. And so one of my favorites that I love is Standard Service, which we just passed. And it's really cool. They have an outdoor like play area for everybody, for all ages. So kids love it. They can run around. There's ping pong. There's, oh my gosh, I can't think of it. I'll call it the hacky sack, and I know that's not it. Cornhole. There we go. There's cornhole, and there's just all sorts of things that kids can run around. They have a huge screen that they'll play games on, and it's fun. You can rent, they have pergolas there, or like cabanas that you can rent and have a group get together and watch a game on a Saturday afternoon. So a really great way to be outside and enjoy it, because right now is patio season in North Texas. So we're just getting to that point where fall is starting to like say little tiny hellos to us, and it's amazing. And so now like patios will fill up like crazy, and everybody wants to be outside. And it's one of the two times of year that we can actually get outside and enjoy it, because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. So yeah, this early fall and into fall, like we get a long period of it, which is nice. But then when spring rolls around, it's a nice time to be on the patio. But pretty much from like June to all of August, and a lot of times some of September too, you don't want to be outside on a patio because it's just so stinking hot. And I'm too busy talking about patio weather, but now we are passing by Heath High School. So Heath High School, again, if you are on the south side of 30 in that 75032 zip code, you will go to Heath High School, or your kids will go to Heath High School. And huge high school. Both high schools have tons of opportunities for kids, tons of sports, tons of programs, orchestra, band, theater, and just actually learned that we have a water polo team. I didn't even know we had that. So many things to choose from to be engaged, which is really nice. And it's a huge school. There's tons of kids there. There's a lot of people, but the good news is with something like that, there's a lot of programs for them to be involved in. And then also over here, speaking more to the development of Heath, we've got a relatively new grocery store. I think it's 4 or 5 years old. So we've got Tom Thumb that finally, because Heath had no grocery store for the longest time. You would have to go to the Kroger in Rockwall to do your grocery shopping. But now Tom Thumb is here, and it's super nice because you can actually park like really close up and hop in and be done and do your shopping really quickly. So I've always loved shopping at this Tom Thumb. And then now because Tom Thumb's there and there's more people that go to it, now there's restaurants and hair salon, nail salon, you name it, it's all right here now. So now from the Tom Thumb, we are going through the downtown of Heath, which is tiny. There is a cool park over here that they've just done a lot of work to, and they'll have a big Christmas event here with lights, and it's a really neat thing. And like the local schools, the choir will come sing, and there will be performances. So it's definitely an attraction. And it's just, again, that quaint small, it's just another town within Rockwall County that has this quaint small town feel. And you've got the fire department right there. We just passed the elementary school. There is a really good Mexican restaurant up ahead. But the neighborhood I want to show you guys on this side of Heath, and it borders Forney, but it's a really cool neighborhood. It's called Heath Golf and Yacht Club. In this neighborhood, it started with some pretty ambitious plans as far as what it could be, but it's still really neat now what it's come to actually be. And there is a golf club on site. The amenities here, I would say as far as neighborhoods in Rockwall, or Rockwall County, like this is the most amenity rich option. You've got the golf club here, you've got a ton of tennis courts, the swimming pool is massive. There is a restaurant here on site, And there's a workout room with the neighborhood. The facilities are pretty amazing. And it's just a beautiful neighborhood to drive through. So they've done a really good job with the master planning of this neighborhood, and it's just, the aesthetics are really beautiful. Now, as we come up to some of where the houses are, you'll see that the sidewalks are very nice and wide. So you could theoretically drive a golf cart through, and you'll actually see that quite a bit, like neighbors just driving their golf carts to the amenity center. But it's just nice to have more space, and it's not a neighborhood where they've just torn down every single space of green space and to build a house, but have left some of the nature here. This neighborhood also offers a bunch of different options as far as types of houses. So there are more compact townhouse style homes here, but then also you have larger estate-sized homes. So right now to my left is some of the larger homes, but I'll show you where even larger, more custom homes are. And then more to the left is actually an elementary school that is here, and a lot of folks walk to the elementary school from here. Now you're starting to see to the left some of the smaller homes. You can have some homes that start around 2,000 square feet, but they quickly go up from there. Now here on Canal, this is where you're going to have the custom homes. And in some of these, you can even get, as you meander through here, this is where you'll even have some homes that have lake views. So here's where they have all these tennis courts, and behind this building is the pool. And it's, as you can see, a million golf carts, not quite a million, but quite a few. But they even have a dock, not for overnight docking, but you could pull your boat up if you belonged to the neighborhood and could pull your boat up, go to the restaurant, and then go enjoy the rest of your day on the lake. So there is a really nice cove that the restaurant is in. Let's see, I'll give you a little look there. And you see they've got the volleyball court. So just a really cool mix of amenities for this community. And golf is extra. So if you wanted to have a golf membership, you would have to pay extra for that for the neighborhood. Now again, this neighborhood is a little off the beaten path. You do have to drive a little bit off of 30 to get out here, but it is something where it is tons of amenities and you can feel a little more outside of the city. And so that's a nice thing that a lot of people come out here to get. Leaving the neighborhood, there is a rather new addition to the neighborhood that is very welcomed, and that is the stoplight. Because taking a left from this neighborhood to get back onto FM 740, nightmare. But now we have a light and don't have to worry about it anymore. And now that we've taken a look at that neighborhood, I want to show you another neighborhood that is in Heath. And it's this like quintessential Heath neighborhood. It's the larger lots, larger homes, more custom feeling. And it's something that people really enjoy being a part of. They really like the feel of this neighborhood. It's, again, a little off the beaten path, not in the middle of it all, very quiet. And it's called Stoneleigh, and it used to be a farm, just like much of all of Rockwall used to be a farm. And I believe it's the brothers that inherited it that decided to develop it and build some beautiful custom homes on this property. And they're much larger estate size lots. And Stoneleigh's broken up into two phases, or two areas, Old Stoneleigh and New Stoneleigh. And I love Old Stoneleigh because you've got these beautiful big trees, and so they're more established and homes with just a lot of character. And then the New Stoneleigh too, like those homes, definitely more modern, definitely tons of character. So it's a really interesting place to be. So we're gonna jump back here onto 550. And again, 550 is gonna hug the southern side of Rockwall and be the road that we take to get to the other roads. But you pop back out and then we're gonna turn back in to get to New Stoneleigh, so you can take a look at that. And over the holidays, we love to come take a look at the lights here in Stoneleigh. And one year it was really funny. There was a house where everybody was slowing down to see the spectacle that they had at this house. And as we started to get closer to the house, I was like, oh no, that man does not look right. And there was a man leaning against a pole, and I wasn't sure, were people stopping for that man or were they stopping to look at the lights, which were insane. And so I end up getting closer and I waved to the man, trying to understand what's happening, only to immediately after I waved to him realize that it was a mannequin. And it was a mannequin of, oh my gosh, I just forgot his name, Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation. And which is why he looked a little strange from far away. And yeah, so Cousin Eddie was there, and the house was like Christmas Vacation, out of control, beautiful lights. And so yeah, there's the Christmas lights around here are wonderful. So if you happen to be coming to look at Rockwall around the holidays, definitely come take a look and drive around at night so you can see all the Christmas lights, because it's really good. So that's just a quick drive through, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna hop back onto 550, doing this little back road trick over here. So again, 550 is the main road that hugs the south side of the city of Rockwall. And it's also the way that you would get to McLendon-Chisholm, which is the next town we are gonna go to. And like I said, right now we're in Heath, but just next to Heath is McLendon-Chisholm. Another part of town that people like, because the lot sizes are, again, larger. And for the most part, for most of McLendon-Chisholm's history, all of the home sites had to be over an acre. And then development came in, Sonoma Verde, and they were able to create smaller scale lot sizes. So you have homes that are like 60-foot wide lots. And so that did start to change things in McLendon-Chisholm and make it a little more dense. But again, it's further out, so if you got rural out there feel but don't want to be too far away from anything, Heath and McLendon-Chisholm are really good places to consider. Another thing about McLendon-Chisholm is you can get some of the better valued new construction out here. And by the way, when I say better value, it doesn't mean cheap, but to get a new construction home in Rockwall ISD, it's one of the cheapest ways to do it though. So new construction homes in Sonoma Verde will start at the high 400s. You can get resale homes though in Sonoma Verde in the low 400s. So if you really wanted to be there, you could definitely do it for in the low 4s. But yeah, this part used to all be completely rural, and you can see to my left a new development is going in, and right now they're just turning dirt. So all the infrastructure is going in, water lines, streets, electric, all that stuff, that's going in, and that's going to be a pretty big development when it's all done. I can't remember how many homes in total, but supposedly they're going to have some out of control amenities. Like I think it's going to have a 2-story amenity center, and it's supposed to be really nice, but I'll believe it when I see it, because a lot of times with new construction, sometimes the initial plans don't always pan out. So we'll see when they actually start building stuff, what actually comes. But they are supposed to be nicer homes too, which I know a lot of the neighboring homes will appreciate, because I know a lot of people around here want to keep those larger lots and that feel of some space and feeling like you're not in the middle of the city. Now here at Ridge Point to my left is some more new construction that is coming to McLendon-Chisholm. And then also immediately to the right is the town hall. And it's really nice, it's super quaint. Oh, because also here's the fire department. So McLendon-Chisholm is still super small with that small town feel. Town hall or city hall, I'm actually not sure what they would call themselves. It's really quaint. Like for voting, you're in and out. It's like super quick, which if that's important to you is super nice. Other voting locations in Rockwall are like at the library, and sometimes there can be a bit of a line there, but yeah, it's just, this is one of the few remaining places where I feel like you can really feel like you're in a small town and be in a small town. But again, like Rockwall, getting to Costco from McLendon-Chisholm is just a 15-minute drive. Oh, and another nice thing about McLendon-Chisholm is that on your mailing, like on your return address, or when you're telling people, you know, how to, your city and state and all of that, when you're getting mail, you can just put Rockwall on your letters and you will still receive them, because no one can spell McLendon-Chisholm. It took me forever to figure it out, so there's that. Now we're turning off of 550 onto 205. Again, more of those numbers. And 205, those who live and have to use 205 have a love-hate relationship with it. They love it because it's how you get anywhere you need to go. Hate it because traffic on 205 is awful. And currently they are working on expanding 205, but that is going to be a very long multi-year project. And it hasn't even quite made its way out this far yet. So just a heads up on that, if you do decide to move out this way, that will be one of the struggles that you have. But yeah, and Sonoma Verde is, and there's a couple of other neighborhoods that are a little further south of Sonoma Verde, and those are on like big acre plus lots and stuff like that. But these are one of the few remaining neighborhoods that are this far south of Rockwall, where you're still in Rockwall County, Rockwall ISD schools. So now we're turning into Sonoma Verde. So this neighborhood is pretty big, and they just opened a new phase also, so a lot of new construction going on. You've got Highland Homes, Castle Rock Homes, Bloomfield Homes. Perry Homes was here, but I think they have sold all of their lots now, and so we'll see if another new builder comes in to take their place. But yeah, homes here, again, starting in the high fours for new construction, low fours for resale homes. And they've got everything from homes on 60-foot wide lots, and then they go up. And I know eventually they're gonna have even larger lots, like they're trying to do a couple of estate size, like kind of acre. But those are, I think, far in the future, and we haven't seen those come up yet. But But yeah, home prices too, starting in the fours, but they can even go into 800, 900,000 I've seen. So a huge range of prices here. And the neighborhood tries to do a lot to have community events. They have a coordinator that schedules it and that's on staff with the HOA. And so there's constantly things going on. There's a neighborhood pool, volleyball court, 2 playgrounds, a dog park, a tennis court, a basketball court. So they have a lot of amenities here. And right now we're driving through kind of the older portion of Sonoma Verde. This is, to my left actually, is where the original model homes were until they moved to the front of the neighborhood. But yeah, these are some of the larger, wider lots in Sonoma Verde. And then as you get into the streets that shoot off these, you get some of the smaller lots. And up here to my left is a big empty field. It's actually owned by the Rockwall ISD, by the school district. And eventually an elementary school will be here. Now, they have been saying that for the last 10 plus years. And the elementary school for this neighborhood was not in the last bond package that was passed for the district. So no telling when that elementary school will actually be built. I do think it's quite possible that time is sooner than later, just because there's been so much growth and they are constantly opening new schools. So straight ahead is some of the newer construction, but we'll drive back through. I'll show you we saw some of the larger lots. I'll show you what it looks like with some of the more 60-foot wide lots in the established part. Just so you can see what those look like, since the new portion, it's just all construction zone stuff with just a Now ahead is the neighborhood pool and community center, and you can rent that place out and have an event there if you wanted, but that is the pool for the whole neighborhood. So one of the gripes with this neighborhood is getting out of the neighborhood, especially if you're trying to turn left on 205. So again, 205, 2 lanes right now, 1 lane, 1 lane each direction. And sometimes it can be rough, especially getting your kids to school in the morning. The traffic can be pretty bad. Just no sugarcoating it, it's bad. So that's one of the things that the infrastructure has not quite expanded enough to support the density out here. But one nice thing is that while there's not a ton of like restaurants and entertainment options in McLendon-Chisholm, right outside of the neighborhood is Rossini Vineyards, which is a winery. So you can go get a glass of wine. They have a really nice patio. And remember, it's patio season right now. So this is the time people are taking advantage of that. And they have snacks and stuff that you can order, but just a fun thing to do to get outside and relax a little bit and not have to go too far to do it. To my right is Urban Air and Oasis Pickleball Club. So yeah, there is like a whole club for pickleball. They have tournaments, they have all sorts of things. Like there's cars there constantly. And then Urban Air, it's an indoor trampoline park, and they have so many things that you can do there to keep your kids entertained. So when it's 105 degrees in the middle of July and you are just ready to get your kids out of the house, it is a great option to get your kids, and they will run around like crazy. It will tire them out and they will come home and crash. So I am a huge fan of Urban Air. Stoplight, coffee time. So this kind of speaks to that Rockwall traffic. It's just a regular middle of the day here during the week, and lots of traffic here on 205. I'm not surprised. Okay, I feel very confident we're gonna make it through this light. This is the one. Now we're starting to approach the part of Rockwall where we have a little more for everything. More houses, more options for grocery stores, the places you run your errands, all the things. And we just passed a neighborhood called Somerset, which is another option for new construction in Rockwall. So if you liked the idea of new construction on this side, Somerset might be an option for you but you don't want to be as far out as like Sonoma Verde. Somerset might be a good option for you. They don't have as many neighborhood amenities, but you are super close to Interstate 30 and all things Rockwall that you might need. So getting to Target would take you 7 minutes, not 17 or 15. And so that might be something to look into. And in Somerset, the price points are going to be higher though. Just typically new construction, as you get closer to Rockwall, it just goes up. And they've got some higher end builders there like Perry and Grand Homes, but they also have Tri-Point Homes. So you don't have to be so high in pricing, but it is going to be higher than what you'll get in Sonoma Verde. But right now we're still on 205. And this is what you would do like right up ahead, maybe 2 miles north of my positioning right now is Costco, which everybody wants to know where Costco is. We also have an In-N-Out burger right there, which is apparently important. But also we have a Whataburger here, which anybody coming in from out of town, it's funny, they would like to go to Whataburger. I am not a Whataburger fan. I will go and I'll be a good sport about it, but I don't get it. But yeah, a lot of folks from out of town really going to Whataburger when we do our tour. If that's you, we can stop at Whataburger. But yeah, this is where you will see, I'm actually at the next slide, I'm gonna take a left to just give you we'll detour a little bit from the perfect route we were gonna do, because I want you to see where a lot of the shopping is and what the options are. But it's really cool because it's all right here. Like you do not have to leave Rockwall for almost anything. And so we've got Target, we've got like Belk, Home Goods. Oh, come on, that's important, right? So Michael's, Best Buy, guys, we haven't forgotten about you, Academy, Dick's Sporting Goods. So all sorts of shops, all right here along Ralph Hall. So we'll turn up here once we get past this other light, because of course we're at another light. We'll turn and I'll show you some of the shops here in Rockwall. Will I make it? Will I make it? Oh, I won't make it. Ah. We tried. So now we're turning on Ralph Hall, and if I wanted to go to Costco, I would have just gone up one more light and then it would have been on my right. But Ralph Hall is where pretty much all of your shopping is going to take place, especially if you live on the south side of Rockwall. So along this strip, it's going to be all of the retail you can imagine. And a JCPenney, like I said, Belk, Ulta. I'm trying to think through all the different things that they have over here, but there's a lot. Half price books. Crumble cookies, that's right over here. We have Mi Casina, La Madeleine. So restaurants, shopping, all sorts of things are here along Ralph Hall. So this is a big important road for like your Saturday shopping when you're running errands. This road can get a little congested, but this is where you're gonna run and do a lot of your shopping. Oh, and this up here to the right I'm not sure if you can see it. That is an elementary school. So it was one of the older elementary schools. They tore that building down and built this beautiful new elementary school. And over here to my right, we've got Old Navy, Bath and Body Works, a little gym, which if you have little kids, it's a great place to have them go and play. And again, when it's that 105 degrees, they can run around, and in an air-conditioned environment, it's super nice to have. So yeah, Ralph Hall, this is the place where you're gonna drive and do all your shopping. And over here to the right is Target. We also have a Walmart, and that is on the other side of 30. Big box retail shopping, it's here. We've got a Sprouts right up ahead in the shopping center that if we kept following this road straight, we would land right into the Sprouts. There's a 24-hour fitness. So again, so many things that you can do here. And also, we have a Chick-fil-A right here. The line is always crazy, no matter what time of day. And the really good news is now this is one of 2 Chick-fil-A's in Rockwall. The north side finally has their own Chick-fil-A, which I'm not sure that it has really helped alleviate the traffic at all at this one. It still seems crazy busy all the time. But now we are headed to the north side of Rockwall, back to the north side of Rockwall. I told you we were gonna go back, and I'm gonna show you a few more things there. So the first stop we're gonna make now that we're back on the north side of Rockwall is we're gonna take a look at Rockwall High School. And so this is, again, one of the 2 high schools in Rockwall. It serves the homes that live on the north side of Interstate 30. And really close to the high school is the football stadium. And of course, everything's bigger in Texas. This place is huge, and it's a shared resource between the 2 high schools. And right next to the football stadium, we have the aquatic center, which again is a shared resource. But also along this same route is our courthouse and our library. And we'll take a look at those also, since they're pretty impressive. So to my right is the courthouse, and I guess I probably should have driven through it, but let's take a look. So right next to the courthouse is the library, and we are actually in a very busy part of the day. We've had to skip a little bit and time jump, and we're now in the afternoon and it's school release time. But I'm driving over through in between the courthouse and the library right now. So here is a look at our courthouse. And I will say, I have served on a jury here in Rockwall, and I actually loved it. I loved how serious my fellow citizens took the process. The bailiff was super nice. The courthouse was lovely, very nice and clean and well kept, and it should be. It's pretty new. So it was just an overall good experience. If you have to serve on a jury, I don't mind serving on a jury in Rockwall, so there's that. But yeah, so that's our courthouse, and as you can see, it's huge. And the library is also massive. It's 2 stories. We have a very large children's area where there's tons of books, tons of programs, and it's a great opportunity to take your kids and have just another place to go that doesn't cost anything. And back to those ideas over the summer of what can you do that doesn't cost a lot and is in the air conditioning, going to the library, really great thing to do. And ahead of me right here, we have the football stadium and then the aquatic center. And so again, these are shared resources between the 2 high schools. Okay, and now we have gone through the school zone, but now we are gonna drive through one of my favorite neighborhoods in Rockwall. And that is because it looks like no other neighborhood that we really have here, like anywhere in Dallas. I feel like it looks like it came right out of a Nancy Meyer storyline of a neighborhood, or like New England. It feels so different than anything that we have here, which just makes it so fun to me that it's just unique and novel. So this is a neighborhood called Park Place. And these are all pretty much custom homes that have been built here, and there's still lots that you can buy and build on. They've been building for a while in this neighborhood. It is a little pricey, but with it you get just like this beautiful neighborhood with this incredible charm, and there's sidewalks all throughout and just a really cool feel being here. And then with this neighborhood, you're actually within close proximity to downtown Rockwall, to Harry Myers Park, which we are actually headed to right now. There are just a few neighborhoods in Rockwall where they put the trees in between the street and the sidewalk instead of the sidewalk and the houses. And I don't know why, but it just gives these neighborhoods this really classic feel. And it's just a really neat change of pace from what we see in a lot of the neighborhoods. And just past that neighborhood is Harry Myers Park. And this is the largest park in Rockwall, and it has so many amenities. There's a disc golf course, which I almost called frisbee golf. Sorry, guys. I know among the disc golf community, that is a big no-no. But there's a disc golf course that apparently is like really nice. I'm clearly not a disc golfer. I don't know, but I have been told it is a very nice course. But there's a huge pond here that you can walk around, and like a really nice gazebo like covering where you can sit. There is a spray park here. This is one of the few spray parks that we have in Rockwall. There's a spray park here. Let's see what else. There's even across the way, there's a swimming pool. There are baseball fields, playground, just so much to come and take a look at. And then further back is a big field, and it's where they have the Rockwall Annual Founders Day Festival. It's a really fun time. They bring a band in. It's great. There's vendors, food, all sorts of fun stuff. It's all day long. So it's just a really fun experience to get to have. And you maybe have heard me say a couple of times about the different music things that Rockwall has. We've got the concert series that happens at the lake. And then I was just mentioning that they bring a musician in for the Founders Day Festival. And then if you remember at the very beginning of the tour in downtown Rockwall, where I showed you San Jacinto Plaza and talked about the music acts they have there throughout I think it's like the spring and summertime and even early fall maybe. But Rockwall is actually known as the free live music capital of Texas, which is quite a title. And because there's just so much that they do to promote music. There's even decorated guitars that you'll find all around town, but they love putting on music shows, and they're actually really good. So it's just an easy way to get out and do something fun. And especially, again, that patio weather right now, this is when all that is just really nice to enjoy. We're on John King, which this road hugs more on the outside lines of Rockwall to the, I guess that would be to the east. It's not the furthest part east, but it's the main road on the east side. Now, along John King is where we have seen a lot of new construction on the north side of Rockwall. Some of the neighborhoods that have some new construction going on, or they're right behind me. We just passed Park Trails. In Breezy Hill, there's still new construction. And there's just a cluster of neighborhoods along John King where you can buy new construction homes. Prices for new construction on the north side do tend to be a little higher. Your house sizes are a little larger also. And actually to the right, we have a 55 plus community. And so we see that a lot of folks have their parents moving back to be closer to their kids and grandkids. And so if that's something that you have parents that may want to, you're moving here and you have parents that may want to move here, Ladera is a 55 plus community that they could buy a home here in Rockwall and get to experience that. And it's a really nice location, again, super close to downtown Rockwall and even very close to getting onto Interstate 30, so great accessibility. Now, I'm not sure if you could see it in the video, but we did just pass by a tornado siren. So we get tornadoes here. It's just a matter of living here. And so all throughout we have tornado sirens, and they do test those monthly. And so you will hear those go off. But yeah, we get tornadoes. And the good news is we get way more sirens than we get of actual tornadoes. It's something that always take seriously, but I can say as a lifelong Texan that it's to the point you hear those and then you go outside and you're like, what's it look like out there? And you're just a little curious. If you start to hear sounds that sound like a freight train, then it's time to get inside and take cover for sure. So now you can see we're coming up on some more new construction, and we've got Stone Creek, Gideon Grove, Breezy Hill, all up in this direction, and Saddle Star Estates also. And I'll take you guys for a quick drive through Breezy Hill just so you can see what one of the newer neighborhoods looks like on the north side of Rockwall. And so again, Breezy Hill is one of those neighborhoods, still some new construction going on, so you can buy new construction or a resale home. And it's a pretty big neighborhood. It does have some like lots of sidewalks and walking paths and a cool playground area or like park area. They do have a very small community pool for the size of neighborhood that it is. In fact, we're coming up on it right here. So it's not a very big pool or community center, but again, you can walk around, tons of places to walk, and just a really great place, a pretty place to walk around also. I see we just passed a home that had some fall decorations, and it made me think about one of the things that is really great around Rockwall is that if you're at all into trick-or-treating, this, like so many neighborhoods go all out. I know there's a neighborhood that I've lived in before, and there was like a trick-or-treat map. So you knew which houses were gonna have like something even more than candy. There was one house that was making hamburgers or hot dogs or something, and lots of fun things just to make it interesting. And yeah, lots of people go all out for just making it a really fun experience for the kids for Halloween. Just ahead are some of the walking paths you can see that you go through, and you can walk through the trees. And that's nice that it's not just all sidewalks in front of houses, that you get to actually walk through a little bit of some wooded area. All right, so that is our tour of Breezy Hill. But now, since we are in the afternoon, I think it's time to make another stop. And instead of coffee this time, we're stopping for iced tea because we have an iced tea shop. Now, here on the north side of Rockwall, you've got some selections when it comes to your shopping. We've got Tom Thumb, we've got a Kroger. Both are very nice and very large. But where I'm headed right now is HTO. I'll be right back. Okay, now we have refreshments for the rest of the trip because HTO, I don't know if you've ever been in that place, if you know of it, heard of it. I don't know, maybe it is a chain, maybe it isn't. Maybe we're just special here in Rockwall, but they have 20 different teas you can choose from, some sweet, some unsweet. I got the unsweet peach ginger. It's delicious, highly recommend. Anyway, fun thing to have in Rockwall. Okay, let's continue. So just for reference, we're back to turning on to 205. So again, remember 205 is one of those main arteries that's gonna get you everywhere from the north of Rockwall to the south of Rockwall. And while you're going through Rockwall, it changes into Goliad, where you actually have a street name, but everywhere else it's 205. So the next neighborhood I want to take you through is the Shores. So the Shores is one of the original neighborhoods of Rockwall, and it's huge, and it's a confusing neighborhood too. Some of the neighborhood has a membership into the HOA amenities, where it's the Rockwall Athletic Club, and some of the neighborhood that you think that's the Shores does not. That's something, if the amenities are important to you, that is really good to find out beforehand whether or not they get access to all the amenities or not. Now, a lot of the houses in the Shores are built on kind of standard lot sizes, just about 60 to 70 feet wide and maybe about 100 to 120 feet deep. There's tons of walking, like sidewalks and walking opportunities in the Shores, which is nice. And you're not having to walk by like super busy streets where cars are just like racing past. And we're actually coming up on the Shores Park, which is a really nice park. It's got a lot of trees, so there's a lot of shade. So if you've got kids and you're wanting to play, but don't want to have them like in the hot sun, this is a really good park to come to where they can be outside, get their energy out, but also not have to be in the sun the whole time. And down below is a part of the golf course for the Rockwall Athletic Club, or Golf and Athletic Club. And we're gonna head out of the shores because I want to drive by and show you something else that is really cool about Rockwall. And I haven't done a lot of talking about the parks and the public places, public spaces in Rockwall. And that's one thing I think definitely on the north side, Rockwall does really well, is there's lots of great parks and places to go. South side of Rockwall, there's Fox Chase Park, and there's I think one other park where they actually have some pickleball, but just not a ton of park offerings. But on the north side, I think just because you have Harry Myers, it just takes the cake. But also there's this place over here, and it's the trails at Squabble Creek. And it's like you can mountain bike, which I think mountain bike might be a bit of a liberal term for what you would call the type of biking you would do here, because we don't have any mountains here. But what we have here are trails that are in these trees. And it's all through the trees, and you can walk, you can mountain bike, whatever, whichever floats your boat. But it's just a really neat place to come, and there's a hiker entrance, a bike entrance you can see, but just a really cool place to escape for a little bit. You are in the trees, and you don't really even know that you're in the city for most parts of the trail. So if you are someone that likes hiking or biking, this is a really nice resource to have right in the middle of Rockwall. And we are now coming up on the other Chick-fil-A that is in Rockwall, which again, such a big deal. And again, always has a big line. And while the north side of Rockwall does its fair share of, or has its fair share of offerings when it comes to food options and grocery store options, what you don't really have on the north side of Rockwall are a lot of shopping options. So if you need to get to Target or Academy or Sports Store or Lowe's, Home Depot, things like that, you're gonna have to go to the north side or to the south side of Rockwall off of Ralph Hall that we looked at earlier. To my left is the YMCA, and a few years ago they did some major renovations. So it's really nice in there, and they have some really good classes. They also have an enclosed pool, which is very fun to have. And again, back to those super hot summers, even a pool, the water can feel like bath water. It gets so hot here. So the fact that this one's enclosed, not air conditioned, but just enclosed, it can really help it not feel so awful in the summer. And now we are already back to downtown Rockwall. And so if you chose to live in the shores, you would be so close to downtown Rockwall, and a quick, not even 5-minute drive to go have a place to have a really nice bite to eat, or even just walk around, do a little shopping. One thing that is really nice here is it's a great place, like downtown Rockwall is a great place to go shopping for fun Christmas gifts, because we have some really cute boutiques around here. And so it's just fun. Like Carol's Candles is off the square, and they even do fundraisers. Like their candles are amazing, and they do fundraisers and stuff for schools and different organizations, just because people go crazy over their candles. here we are. This is it. This is back where we started, right in downtown Rockwall. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Rockwall. Oh, and by the way, there's one of those guitars I was talking about earlier. But yeah, I mean, if you are thinking about moving to Rockwall or any of the surrounding areas to Rockwall, McLendon-Chisholm, Heath, Fate, Royce City, be sure to subscribe to this channel because I showcase all of those locations. But also, I would love to help you find your home here. And if you have any questions about Rockwall, feel free to send me a message. My name is Jennifer Templeton, and I am a Realtor and Broker Associate with the Crest Edge Group at Keller Williams. And you can contact me at 214-803-4444 or shoot me an email at jennifer@thecrestedgegroup.com. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I feel it's really weird right now because I feel like I should be making eye contact with the camera, but the light turned green. Now, of all the traffic that we have been in today, now the lights are turning green. And I thought I had a ton of time to be able to do the sign off for the video. But yeah, thanks Rockwall. This is how it, again, the light turned green again. We haven't had this many green lights in a row this whole day. And then of course today it happened. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to watch the next one and I will see you then. Bye.